This is Maddie, a first-year student at Penn State University. Maddie is in the middle of finding out what it feels like to leave the nest. With so many different changes, sometimes it can feel like free falling.
She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus, and America too.
Here is where it begins, Maddie's house. Maddie loves hanging out with her family. These are bittersweet moments because she has begun a new adventure. They will miss her. Next stop, Penn State. The campus is beautiful, and Maddie takes some time on the rolling greens to reflect on all the ways her life is changing and to center herself.
I'm really enjoying college life. I definitely wanted to live on campus just because I want to spread my wings and I really just want to figure out who I am. I have always enjoyed school. Of course, recess was my favorite subject, but I was also really good in English. I was one of the highest readers in a lot of my classes. I also really care about the environment. I'm all into saving energy. I also pick up litter that I see around the campus, and I just really like to keep the earth clean. I just really like to be a peaceful person, and I like to help people out. I definitely love volunteering. I used to volunteer at the Chambersburg Hospital for a while during my sophomore year, and I really enjoyed that. I was watching my kids at the YMCA, and they thought that to perform for their next song that they were dancing to the radio in one of our gyms, that they had to be skinnier for their next performance to be better performers or to be cool. They were like 5 or 6 years old. I think that really speaks about our generation and just what the world is right now. It's just really crazy how kids that young at this day and age really have that kind of mindset. You really do not have to be super skinny to be popular these days. You can be whatever shape, whatever size you want to be. And people, if they really love you and care about you, they will accept who you are. And I think that that's a really big message that kids need to hear today. I also really love animals. I'm a big dog lover. And me and my boyfriend actually go to the pet store every once in a while just to hold and pet puppies. I thought that I was going to try to go to a few parties, but I wasn't going to drink. And I just decided that that's not really my scene at all, because even if you would go to a party and you weren't drinking, you could still get in trouble because you're just associated with that. And that's really not what I'm looking for. Just in the past month being at college, I've really learned that I don't need to follow a group to feel like I am an awesome person. I have learned that if those people aren't going to treat me that well, they're not really worth my time, and that I am a cool person no matter how other people treat me. And I've just really boosted up my self-confidence a lot. I've really figured out that part of me that it doesn't really matter what other people say about me. It's who I really am and who I believe I am.
Maddie has settled in to her new dorm.
I like to see myself as very caring person. My heart is set on somewhere in the medical field, so I really care about people and I love helping them.
So I'm roommates with Madison.
Jess, my roommate, is amazing. She is super sweet and she really helps take care of myself and our room.
I was excited to actually meet Madison because she's really laid back and we get along really well.
I really enjoy her company. She's always making me laugh by showing me funny YouTube videos or showing me pictures of cats because we both enjoy pictures of cats.
When we first moved into campus, I was worried about getting along with a roommate.
We just have a lot of fun together. We've helped dye each other's hair and we like to work out together, and she is just really good for company.
In the room, we get along pretty well. We keep both of our sides clean and neat.
She keeps up her side of cleaning up pretty often.
We let each other do our own things, but we spend a lot of time together also. We decorate the room and we go to activities on campus.
I am really happy that I'm pursuing a degree in nutrition. It just really has my heart set on fire right now. I am like head over heels about it. I have been able to take a nutrition class my first semester, which is an awesome privilege to do, seeing how when you do your major, you don't get to take classes in it until maybe your sophomore year. And I was lucky enough to get one my first semester as a freshman. I have definitely learned more about my passion in nutrition. I have learned more than I ever thought I would have been able to, and just the chemistry of it, the makeup of food, and how it really affects your body. I'm just sitting on the edge of my seat during every class, even though it is an 8 o'clock class. Biology class I really enjoy. I took a biology class in high school, my senior year, and I really enjoyed it then, but I didn't feel like I was really getting much out of it. This year with my professor, I am learning things very rapidly, very well, because he really gets us into the things on a personal level in class. During one class, when we were talking about the larynx and the vocal cords and how pitch is changed, he brought in an acoustic guitar and he was plucking the strings and showing us how it really works. It's like our vocal cords are guitar strings, and that just really hit home for me, and it really made me understand how that works, and it just really makes more sense to me now, and I'm really enjoying it. It's probably my favorite class. My math class is a really easy math class, which is what I needed because it's not my strongest point, and I feel like I'm finally getting the hang of things that I should have years ago. And it's just really nice to be able to feel like, hey, I know this now, and I feel like I'm ready to go into my next math class. My English class, I love my English class so much. I have a very sweet old woman as my teacher, and she just really makes us think about outside the world things. We have read essays on racism, we've read essays on homeless people, and how that really affects people out in the real world, and not just taking it and learning it in class, but also giving us life lessons to bring out of class with us. And it really has changed me, the way that I see African Americans, the way that I think and look at homeless people. I am really impressed with her teaching style because she really has made me think on a higher level. Thursday is definitely my biggest and longest day. It consists of me waking up at 6:50 so I can go to my 8 o'clock nutrition class. Right after that, I have my psychology class, and then I have English, all 3 in a row. And then I usually go to lunch with my friends after that, and I have some study time and basically free time until 6 o'clock when I have my math class. And then right after that, I have Bible study. And then usually after that, I hang out with my friends and we watch a movie or something. So it's a really busy day.
I have to take this quiz from my biology class, and we have one every Friday, and they're all online. And it's just basically a review of what we went through that week. And we only get one chance to get a good grade on it, so hopefully I do well. I usually do.
My life goal, it's a really big dream. I would really like to start my own nutrition business someday, and if it gets big enough, I would really like to help third world countries get better nutrition. And I would start in schools and hospitals because I think that children deserve to have better nutrition in public places. And I think that health and what you eat is a big part of what happens to you later on in life. And if I can prevent kids from getting diabetes at age 5 or in elementary school, that helps them for the rest of their life.
It's a challenge, but she is dedicated to excelling in the health services field and is determined to succeed. Maddie has learned her way around the Penn State campus. Compared to her high school, is sprawling.
Madison is my firstborn. Some of my favorite memories of Madison as a child are probably her playing dress up and doing her little theater acts with her siblings. That was great, watching her just play with them. She is such a great little actress, and she has such a great personality, and she is just adorable in anything she dresses up in. She just loves being in front of people and being on stage, and she used to show that when she was little, even just putting on little shows and acting, and she's just very photogenic. When she first came to school, she was going to be a nurse, and she decided to go with nutrition instead, which I think is a better path for her, and she wants to be on the preventative end of the medicine instead of the part where the people are already sick. And I think that says a lot about her as a person. She cares so much about people that she chooses to prevent illness so people can have a lot more time together as a family. She has such a big heart. I love that about her. The last thing I said to her, I believe, she was heading up the stairs and she turned around and waved goodbye to me, and I said, "Good luck, baby." You're gonna do great. You got this. It is hard getting used to her being away from home. We made sure that she stayed close enough to home when she went off to school so that we could still see each other. We say goodnight and text. We keep in communication a lot, but we do go maybe a whole day without talking to each other, so that has taken a lot of getting used to. It's helped me build a different kind of bond with her, and it's given us a chance to build a different kind of relationship. Now we are kind of moving out of the mother-daughter relationship a little more and kind of transitioning into more of a friend relationship, so it's a transition and it's nice. I like it a lot.
I have made a ton of good friends. I'm really happy about them. I eat lunch with them or some other meal with them every single day. And we really like to go watch movies in their dorm rooms, and we just go places. We also are all part of the Bible study that's on here, which is really cool to have a group of friends that have the same beliefs as you do. I'm also part of the Mon Alto Singers, which is a really awesome group. We're an a cappella group, and we're doing really upbeat songs right now. And we've already had our first performance, which went really well, and we're really excited for that. My childhood was fun. I had a very vivid and wild imagination when I was growing up, and so I was always entertaining myself with pretending to be a lion or a spy or something fun. I also would put on fun shows, and I would make my siblings dress up, and we would figure out little dance routines. I really liked being outside when I was younger. We would always go camping, and we would go on four-wheeler rides all the time. I grew up on a big farm, so we had tons of open space, and I just really loved to be out there in the open. I definitely want a family when I'm older. I want some kids, and I maybe want to be a stay-at-home mom at some point in my life. And I just really want to enjoy life and have it to the fullest that I can.
The first time I met Madison, I remember her being a part of the first year experience class, and I was a peer mentor for the class at the time, so I had her as a peer mentee, and she was very, very quiet at first, definitely very introspective, and once I started talking to her, getting to know her a little better, she became a part of a group of friends that I had already been friends with, and we all just became very quick, very fast friends, and just from then on, it just has been a friendship ever since then. Alright, so my name is Zach Wilt, and this is my partner Madison Myers, and she's agreed to help me voluntarily, and I would like to thank her for that. I'm going to be introducing the tango to you today, and just to talk a little bit about it. It was first recorded being used as a dance in 1890, though the modern present form of it comes from Cuba and Spain, and it has many influences. As it developed, it became more and more popular around the world. Today we're going to be doing it to the most famous tango music called La Comparsita, which translates to the little parade. We'll show you, and then we'll explain. Okay, so that is a promenade, a version of a promenade. With this promenade, Madison, would you like to explain your moves and do this?
As Zach was saying, he is leading me and I am following. So basically, we're doing the easy, slow steps, just like in the normal tango opening. And then for me to know to turn, I feel the pressure on my shoulder blade. And I step back, and I'm pivoting. And then I go back over to his shoulder because it's on my right and it's all about the girl. And then I will turn because I feel pressure on my shoulder blade again. Walk forward, put pressure on my left foot, and then we will go back and then close.
Once you get to know Madison, she's so open, and she's very, very kind, she's very willing to go out of her way to help someone else. And she just has always been that way ever since I got to know her. She's just so willing to help other people. I think that's what kind of made me be attracted to her as a friend.
So any student who is in an art class on campus is welcome to place their best work into the art studio at the end of the semester to see if they can win any prizes. And right now we're waiting to see what the judges think.
This is for performances. Stephen exactly.
Before Madison went to school, we were very excited, packing up. She was ready for it, ready to leave the nest. And she got there and she was still having fun, making new friends, the thrill of the new, moving into a new place, getting her room all ready, just doing the whole new freshman thing, freshman week, doing all the fun stuff.
I was very excited. I had very high expectations, and of course I had my own little vision of what college and living there was going to be like. I felt like my expectations were going to be met in basically all the categories that I thought, and I kind of had just a little daydream.
And then classes started.
After I moved in, reality slowly started to hit, and I started to realize that it wasn't all unicorns and butterflies.
The pressure started, reality began to set in.
It was classes and time management and figuring out how to keep my social life away from studying and reading my books and making flashcards. And slowly but surely, I felt the pressure.
She came to me about it, and we did a lot of talking, and I did a lot of impartial listening.
And the weight of the classes and the responsibility slowly sinking in. And with the whole transition, it was kind of hard for me being independent in a way that I've never had to before. And I kind of got depressed for a while.
It was very hard on her to work through all of these feelings and to get a lot of her feelings out.
I had to start going to see the counselor on the campus.
She started coming home and talking to me about it little by little, how she was feeling and all of this pressure, wondering if she was doing the right thing. Has she chosen the right major? Could she handle all of this pressure?
and it was pretty intense for me for a while.
Memories from the past started catching up to her. I also remember that too from my freshman year of college, and I was hoping that that wasn't going to happen to her like it did to me. And she started coming to me and talking to me about it. This was a very big transition time for us as a family, and it was a big learning experience for all of us, and it was a big growth time for her, watching her take on a lot on her plate, especially this last semester. And I saw her take on actually too much this last semester, and watching her take on too much, I sat back and didn't say anything, and she came to me and we decided to talk it through and see what she could do.
I made a decision that I needed to drop a few classes, and even though I personally felt like I was a failure, I talked to my mom about it, and I knew that I could, even though it was hard for me, because I've always been able to speak about my problems before to her.
It was very hard for her to decide what to do, and she decided to drop a couple classes. And
I knew that even though I thought that this was a mistake, I'm very grateful that I felt comfortable enough to share it with her and for her to be a part of it. And I knew I wouldn't get ridiculed, even though I thought it was a mistake. It was actually a learning process, and she helped me learn that and become that part of who I am today.
She was very hard on herself, and I just kept encouraging her not to take it as a failure. It was a very good learning experience. It was actually a big triumph in my eyes for her. I told her that college is a big learning experience from all angles. It's not just about the academics, it's like time management, and she learned that she can't do everything all at once. It was a big goal that she learned this new thing about herself, and she came out of it on the other end, I feel, as a success.
I slowly started to settle back in, and talking to the counselor definitely helped, and I can say now that I'm happy that I live on campus.
When I was going to be a parent, what was important to me was that my children would feel they were being heard, being listened to, and be respected. That would be my top priority to them. They would never be ashamed to ask why, and they would always get an answer.
I definitely feel like my mom did a good job letting me make my own decisions when I was little, and letting me know that I do have my own voice and that I can speak my mind freely and ask her why, and never be ridiculed for being who I am or making mistakes and figuring out on my own who I am and the trials in my life. I really appreciate my mom, and I think that while I'm going through this new stage of life, that she is also going through a new stage of life.
I made sure I didn't buy her laundry detergent so that she had to come home to do her laundry.
And I just really hope that she finds so much happiness in herself and in her new world.
I love you. I love you too.
Yeah, I'm free.